Hello friends. Today I'm here to show you the Arcade1up Final Fight arcade cabinet. Ta-da! Now, Arcade1up has a lot of options to choose from if you wanted to pick up one of these machines. They have a Pac-Man machine, they have a Street Fighter machine, they got a Mortal Kombat machine, they have a Rampage arcade machine, which I almost got because I really love that game from the arcade. But I decided to go with Final Fight after a lot of thought. And that's for a very specific reason. It's because of the variety of games that you have on this machine. So with this Final Fight cabinet, you get Final Fight, which is a side-scrolling two-player beat-em-up. Then you have 1944, The Loop Master, which is a World War II themed shooter game. Shoot 'em up is what they would call it, where you're just this little airplane that flies around and you're dodging all these bullets and fireballs coming at you and other crazy stuff. And then they also have two side-scrolling platform games on here, Ghosts and Goblins and Strider. These are all arcade games that came out right around the 90s, all made by Capcom. But that variety, the beat 'em up, the shoot 'em up, and then the side-scrolling platform game, which is very challenging. I like that variety. Now if you were to get the Pac-Man machine, all you get is Pac-Man. That's it. Pac-Man and then one other version of Pac-Man that's basically like the first version. The Street Fighter machine just has 3 different versions of Street Fighter 2. The Mortal Kombat machine that came out more recently just has 3 versions of Mortal Kombat basically. Although, I mean, it is Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, and 3, but I imagine you'd probably only be playing the 3rd one because it has the most characters and that kind of thing. So that's why I picked up the Final Fight machine over the others, because of the variety. So I picked up this machine for $2.99 at my local Walmart, but you should keep an eye out for sales. For example, when I went to Walmart to purchase my Final Fight cabinet for $300, I noticed that they had the Mortal Kombat machine there for sale for $250. And Mortal Kombat, by the way, is a Walmart exclusive, so you can only get that arcade cabinet at Walmart. So $2.99, I mean, for some people it might seem a little pricey. For some people this might seem like just like a toy, but for me it's a lot more than a toy. It's a piece of nostalgia. I didn't even necessarily buy this cabinet to actually play it, although I have played it quite a bit. I bought it because of, the nostalgia. It's like a piece of artwork. It's something to display, something neat to show people, and that's really why I bought it. And the build quality isn't bad. It's pretty heavy. It's like 60 pounds. Not that really tells you anything. I mean, most of this is just hollow. There's nothing in here. So when you get this, it comes in a rectangular shaped box that's flat. And so most of the interior of this is completely hollow. And what you have to do is put it together. It's really not that hard to put together. It took me about an hour. You can do it by yourself, but there's certain parts of the construction that would probably be easier if you had one other person to help you lift something and put it into place. Also, I used a power drill to put it together. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the power drill. You might want to use just a regular hand drill, because you don't want to screw these bolts in too tight. Otherwise you could crack the wood, or, I mean, this is like particle board and other stuff, so it's relatively sensitive. And even when I was watching the video on how to put it together, they said multiple times, make sure not to screw it in too tightly. So I was careful of that, and what I did to help prevent that is, I don't know if you can see this if you're familiar with power drills, but you'll have this dial on the top of your drill with these different numbers. What these numbers indicate is how tightly the drill will operate. So if you are going to use a power drill, I recommend putting it on the 1 setting, which is the lowest setting that you have. That way, when it's getting on a screw and it starts to get really tight, it won't screw it in too hard and basically blow right through the wood or the plastic or that kind of thing. So if you do use a power drill, make sure you put it on that low setting. But yeah, like I said, took me about an hour to put it together. Really wasn't that big a deal. And you get to understand the insides of it, which is kind of nice when you're when you're building something and you have it. So yeah, this is the Arcade1up. You can see it has all this different art on there. Let me see if I can show you. So this is all the original arcade artwork. The only difference, of course, is this Arcade1up logo. But if you were to find the actual arcade machine, this is what it would look like. It would just be a little bit larger. One thing that's kind of nice is this little plastic layer on here. The original Arcade1ups did not come with this plastic layer. And what can happen, and you can see this, like when I was looking at the Walmart display model that was out, all these graphics were just completely rubbed off. You couldn't see them at all. But that's why they started offering this as part of the package. And you could see I did tighten some of these screws a little too much. That's why there's little cracks. So like I said, be careful when you use the power drill. Here's the options of games on the front. Very cool. And then the side artwork, one of my favorites. Look at this. Classic 90s damsel in distress from some creepy guy holding a bat with a weird end on it, or I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a pipe. And then two other guys that are gonna go save the girl. So as you can see, this is pretty low on the ground, so you could play it while sitting, or you can get a riser. This is sitting on the ground. You could play it while sitting. You can, I don't know if you can hear these little joysticks. The buttons, very responsive. The sound setting is one of the things that's kind of disappointing on this. So there's only two settings. There's mute, there's medium, and then there's ungodly loud. So it'd be nice if they had some kind of scroller to, you know, gradually scale up the sound or something like that, but I don't know, whatever. They were trying to make these cheap. But anyways, it sits low to the ground. Now, you could buy one of the risers from Arcade1up that'll have an Arcade1up logo on it, but it's $50, and all it does is lift this box. So what I did is I used my noggin, and I came up with a clever idea. Let me show you. So what I did is I bought this super cheap table from IKEA. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was a hell of a lot less than $50. And so what I do is I lift my Arcade1up. Oh boy, that's heavy. And so I just put this on a table, small table, and now I can stand and play, just like the regular arcade. Now, another beauty of using your own riser is that you can get one to, you know, any level. You can even make your own. So for me, I'm 6'2". This is okay, but I will admit, on the first night when I was playing this, I got these really bad pains in my neck because I was looking down like this for so long. You really want to get it right around your eye level, so that you don't have to bend your neck down so much. So I might make my own riser, lift it up even more. But this thing works for now, works for my friends, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get into the games. So let's go ahead and take a look at the gameplay. This is Final Fight. You get 3 characters to choose from. I like the big guy, Hager, because he's strong. Oh, let's turn the sound on. Ooh, burly. Slam. Slam. Oh, he got slammed. One punch destroyed a telephone booth. Side-scrolling beat 'em up. punch. Get rid of this trash can. Who's this guy? These guys must shop at Old Navy. They're all wearing the same thing. Oh, what's that, a beer? Hamburger? Now, if you want to switch in between games, you just hold down the start button, and then it brings you into the menu. And here's all the games I talked about. Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, 1944 The Loop Master, and Strider. Let's start with Ghosts and Goblins next. Whoops. I don't really know this game very well. I don't remember playing it at the arcade. All I know is it's really hard. It's a side scroller. This little knight, and he's got like a spear that he chucks, and he seems to have an endless amount. There's zombies, a coin. I don't know who this guy is. Vampires and zombies. I'm shooting fireballs somehow. Woo! Okay. Well, anyway, that is Ghosts and Goblins. Let's go back to the main menu, and we'll check out my favorite game on here. Actually, the main reason why I bought this particular arcade cabinet. 1944, The Loop Master. Now, when I was a kid, the shoot 'em up games were always my favorite, and this is exactly what this is, a shoot 'em up game. World War II base. Look at that, he flew in a loop. That's why they call it the Loop Master. So, you know, it's basically like a updated version of Galaga. This is actually the newest game on this arcade cabinet. It came out in the year 2000, which I was surprised by, but I googled it, and that's what it says. I thought we had better graphics in the year 2000, but hard to remember now. You see fireballs everywhere, destroying buildings and anti-aircraft. And if you get into trouble, boom, Loop Master, drop a bomb. Dropping bombs. Uh-oh, warning. We got a boat or something coming up. It's blowing things up. Oh, we got two boats. I don't know if I can handle two. Loop Master, bomb them. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do that again. Because that was easy. And that is 1944, The Loop Master. Now I will show you the final game on here, Strider. This game I don't remember at all. I don't even know why you would have a single-player side-scrolling platform game at the arcade. You know, it's like it's a fun, you're just playing by yourself. Guess you're going for the high score. Pac-Man was a one-player game. So you're this little guy with this sword and just run around slashing, slash, flips, doing flips. Uh-oh, little guy. So you guys can hear the clicking. Okay, dead already. Yeah, well, luckily these machines do not require quarters. You can just continuously play by yourself. Ooh! Flip, flip. Look at these. Flipping effortlessly. Do this all day. Ooh, who's this? Is that a little girl? What is that? That's the 90s for you. What was that? This robot looking thing. Slash, slash. Anyways, this is the game lineup. Pretty cool.